Mentally, our homeowners come to us typically in the springtime. I get it. They're outside, they're wanting to get their yard right. But let's dive into when is the actual environmentally the best time to start lawn care?
Fall.
Fall time.
Fall. It's not the most, exactly like you just said, the spring, things are waking up. We're all wanting to get outside more. So you think spring would ideally be it. Reverse that a few months and go into the fall. Things are getting ready to go to sleep. So a lot of homeowners will call and say, hey, I know that everything's getting ready to die down now. I'm going to reach out next spring when everything starts waking up. I just wanted to get on your radar. And I jokingly say, please don't call me in April if we don't start working together now. We start putting the barriers down. We start trying to work on a proactive approach versus a reactive. On our warm season lawns, on our Zoysias and our Bermudas, our coastal lawns, we want to start building that barrier to prevent weed growth in the fall. Fescue is a little bit different. In the fall with fescue, we're starting to plant and kind of do that. What people typically think happens in the spring, we do that in the fall with fescue. So when somebody calls us in the spring with a fescue yard, I tell them I'll reach back out to them later that fall. And when people with the warm season lawn want to wait until spring, we say, no, we start in fall.
Right. It's kind of backwards when our human nature is backwards to what the environment is telling us. And if we could give anybody advice, it would be, when should I start lawn care? It was last fall.
Exactly.
It just is what it is when it comes to getting ahead of things. So we talk about most of our yards are probably in that warm season category, Bermudas and Zoysias. What's happening to them in the fall, growing habit-wise, and then what are we doing for that to counteract that, and what are we preparing for?
So in the fall, they're starting to slow down. They've had their peak growing season in the summer. They're starting to slow down. So we start putting down our pre-emergence. So our first round of pre-emergence is going to go down early fall. It's going to have some post-emergence, so it's going to take care of any weeds you're still seeing lingering after the summer. But then our next round, it's going to happen before the end of the year, and it's going to be another layer of pre-emergent. Those different pre-emergents are complementary of each other. They're targeting different weeds at different timelines, but they're also building that barrier one on top of another, trying to form that barrier for those weeds to come through and reduce the risk of those new weeds coming in.
It's very obvious for the yards that we pick up if they've had pre-emergence in the fall.
100%.
Our highest engagement with new clients is the spring. Our highest cancellation time is usually early summer. And it's typically from that same batch of clients where it is environmentally impossible to prevent weeds past a certain point. Once soil temperatures get so hot, pre-emergence are ineffective, and windows of when weeds grow are in the fall. Now, let's counteract that. We have tall fescue here as well. We're in the transition zone. We have every grass type. Fall time, we look like heroes. This is growing season. What's happening for a tall fescue yard in fall versus warm season grass?
You're right. We can look like a major hero. And this one's the closest to coming in with those overnight results that we see. Fescue's fun in the fall. It's just starting to kind of wake up. It's been through a stressful heat of the summer, and it is ready to thrive and show its true colors, that nice, gorgeous green that we like of our fescue. So we're trying to get the lawn all cleaned up, get it as thick as possible going into the fall, and we're doing our aeration and seeding in the fall time for our fescue. That overseed is going to be the only way you get new fescue in the yard. If something's damaged it throughout the summer, this is our place where we get to come in and fill that in with some new healthy fescue.
Yeah. Overnight success for us is we're talking an 8 to 12 week window, which is funny that we think that's quick. But in lawn care terms, you're starting to see some success of growing new grass. And our philosophy is a little bit unique in the sense that we focus our overseeding for fescue yards exclusively in the fall. Reason being, you get 2 growing windows. You get the fall, which is going to be beautiful weather for it, and you also get the spring. And so as you're going into spring, you're actually maturing the turf. You're thickening it up rather than starting from scratch. Because we've seen in our experience, if you're starting from scratch in the spring, you're getting really close to summer. which is heat, which is really stressful to fescue, and you're going in with a young seedling versus a more mature growing fescue clump. And at that point in the spring, we can actually start, if we have a mature yard, we can actually start with pre-emergence and weed control and really go into the summer with more success. So I know that's a little bit counterintuitive. It's still, yes, acceptable to overseed in the spring. We're not saying you can't. If you don't have grass, yes, plant seed and we'll entertain that option as well. But if you have enough of your yard, or if you have the right timing in mind, starting in the fall is critical with a fescue yard. Am I right?
You're right. It's the most ideal. In that approach, we get to work in a proactive approach versus a reactive. Instead of reacting to the weeds, we get to proactively grow, nurture that new seed, get it as strong as possible, and then we can get that weed control put down. So yes, the fall for fescue, anytime is a great time to start lawn care. There are a lot better times on certain grass types for sure.
And I think calling out the differences in grass types, we consider that second nature, but for our homeowners, that's not common knowledge to them. But now that they hear something like this, driving down the street, you're going to notice that yard to yard, you're going to see different grass types. We tailor specific lawn care solutions for your specific grass type for a reason. But also that's overlaid with what's happening in the environment. And we've indicated a lot of the fall time as being a good point to start. But we also indicated that's just two opposite strategies for a warm season and cool season grass. And so we're very thoughtful about that approach. I think one thing that is also unique about that time frame is, doing lawn care in specifics, doing the right thing at the wrong time can make a negative impact. So if you're aerating a fescue yard in the fall, great, you're in the right timing. If you're aerating a warm season in the fall, yes, that's a benefit to the yard, but not at that time. You're not giving enough runway to actually repair itself and respond to that treatment or really benefit from the soil being decompacted. So I think we're pretty clear. Fall time, best time to get started. Will we welcome anybody at any point in the year?
Yes, we will. We always want to help out. Setting expectations to some people at certain times for certain grass types is probably a little bit more emphasis than it would be if starting at the ideal time.
That's fair. We'll accept you whenever, but the conversation may sound a little bit different.
It might.